Welcome, everybody. It's 7 o'clock, so we'll call our meeting to order, and we'll start as we always do with the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Moffa is going to lead us this evening.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the next item on our agenda is appointments. As far as I know, we do not have any recommendations related to the Conservation Commission, but we do have a Republican Town Committee recommendation on the Board of Education vacancy. Mark, were you going to make a motion to get something on the table for us? I'll take this first.
Yes, I do. Based on a recommendation from the Granby Republican Town Committee, I move that Mr. Saeed Ali Safar be appointed to the Granby Board of Education for Rosemary Weber's remaining term.
Second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion?
Yeah. Go ahead, Fred.
I have an issue that the nominee has been labeled a top contributor on a site or a group that's known to be an extremist group by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Say that again?
Southern Poverty Law Center, they rank extremist groups, and Gays Against Grooming is listed as an extremist group, and he's listed as a top contributor. And as I have taught my children, your online actions count.
Okay. Peggy?
Yeah, I have a concern about the process. This was just added to our agenda on Friday, right before Town Hall closed for the weekend. And if it weren't for the fact that I talked with you earlier, Mark, I would not have known who the candidate was that you were putting forward. I do think that our role as members of this board is not just to rubber stamp nominations, especially for a board as important as the Board of Education. And so I would like to see this postponed to the next meeting so that we can give some further consideration to this candidate. And I don't mean any disrespect to Mr. Zafar. I'm not suggesting there was anything nefarious about the process. I just think that, as I said, we should have more advance notice when these nominations are coming forward, especially for the major boards, so that we can at least give some adequate consideration to the candidates that are being put forward. So I'm just asking that this be postponed until our next meeting.
Okay. I'll address that in just a second. Mark, anything? Okay.
No.
So I understand that, Peggy, and I respect that, honestly. This is a process that we have used as long as I've had any involvement in the town. We trust our town committees on elected boards to make a recommendation to us on who the town committees believe will do the best job of putting, in this case, since it's a Board of Ed, the interest of our children first. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. I think it would be a mistake, and I don't support changing that process for this particular candidate. Now, if we want to, going forward, have a discussion about changing that and requiring some other notice and time between when the recommendations are made and when we vote, then I'm open-minded to having those discussions. But I don't think it'd be fair to anybody who's participated in this process to this point to change it here. I will say this, I have received substantial information and concerns about the appointment, raising some concerns. I've taken the time to look at all of them. I will tell the public that while what I received reflects at times a disagreement, I think, with certain things that Ollie may or may not stand for. There's nothing in there that I thought prohibited him from serving on the Board of Ed. Whether his position and his actions in terms of putting our kids first is what he's really capable of doing. Will be up to the voters if we appoint him and he seeks to stay on the board. He'll have to explain his action to the voters next November. I will say that I took the time again to speak to Ollie to make sure that he committed, at least to me, that regardless of what his opinion was on certain issues, that he would be respectful and thoughtful and consider all points of view in making his decision on how he's going to vote on items, and that he would always put kids first. To me, that's our role here on this board, is to make that educated decision. It's not necessarily to try to decide whether we agree with Ollie on everything, because by definition, we're not voting. So,
What was the Republican Town Committee vetting? Did you look at any of that?
no, I'm not going to be in a position to tell you what they did or didn't do.
Okay.
I know reasonably sure that Ollie has made that same commitment that I just repeated that he made to me to town committee members. Nor would I ever ask the Democratic Town Committee to, unless you guys want to go through changing the process and incorporating that in our process. And I'm not prepared to do that tonight for Ollie's support. Again, open-minded to discussing going forward if you want to change that process going forward. So,
Let me just add that this is the first time that a nomination for a appointment to fill a vacancy for one of the major boards has come to this board as long as I've been a member, and so I did not understand the process to be so, I guess, one-sided would be a good word for it. You've had an opportunity to have a discussion with Mr. Zafar to vet the candidate, and we just haven't had any adequate notice that this candidate was going to be put forward. So I'm not asking for a no vote. I'm just asking that we postpone it for 2 weeks. There is no harm in postponing this because the Board of Education doesn't meet again until September 3rd or 4th.
again, Peggy, I respect your opinion, but I also respectfully disagree. That's not the truth. This board voted to appoint a member to the Board of Ed to fill Whitney Sanso's vacancy just a few months ago.
Well, that was a vacancy that we put forward, so obviously I had an opportunity to vet that candidate. I was well aware of who that candidate was and was very comfortable with the candidate.
Understood.
So,
All right, what is the pleasure of the board? What I'm going to do is call the motion. So there's a motion on the floor in a second to appoint Ollie to the Board of Ed. All of those in favor of that motion? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
no.
Okay.
And I just want to clarify that my no vote is a reflection of my concern about the process.
Understood. And I agree and respect it.
Mine is I don't think someone who supports an extremist group should be on the Board of Ed.
Fair enough. So what we're going to do is take a pause. Ollie, we're going to ask you to come up and take the oath of office. We're going to swear you in. Assuming you accept the oath, then we'll take some pictures. And we'll give you a minute or two, as we have with others, to say a few words if you want. Not required, but if you want. So if you'll come up. All right, I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. And whenever I'm reading something, I always scroll it up, so forgive me if I do. Raise your right hand. I, Syed Ali Safar,
I, Syed Ali Zafar,
do solemnly swear and sincerely affirm,
do solemnly swear and sincerely affirm,
as the case may be,
as the case may be,
that I will faithfully discharge according to law
that I will faithfully discharge according to law
my duties as a member of the Board of Education
my duties as a member of the Board of Education
for the town of Granby
for the town of Granby
to the best of my abilities.
to the best of my abilities.
So help me God,
So help me God,
or upon penalty of perjury.
or upon penalty of perjury.
All right, thank you. Welcome aboard. All right, you sign here. And Scott, who does the date?
I can do the date for you.
So you sign here, then I will sign here. Yeah, so I'll come down and get your picture taken. Did you get a picture taken?
Yes, I did.
All right, thank you. All right. She's the one that matters to whatever she says when it comes to taking a picture. Stand where she does it.
Definitely Peggy was there. Yeah. It might look nice if Mike, you came over on this side.
Some people say it's nice if I leave the picture.
No, I would never say that one. There you go, that looks good. Okay, everybody, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right, you want to get some pictures with your family?
Yes, please.
All right, bring it up to wherever you want.
Well, I want to come up. But my family, like the kids come up first. Thank you.
Yeah.
James John Preston.
All right, Ollie, why don't you come to the podium? This part is a little bit unusual, so you don't have to do it if you don't want to.
No, that's fine.
But I want you to repeat for the public, if it's true, that your commitment is to listen to all points of view fairly, completely, respectfully, and then at the end of the day, even if you happen to disagree, you're going to do what's in the best interest of the kids in Granby. That's what mattered to me. That's why I voted yes for you, because I believe you. But if you're willing to do it, I'd ask you to repeat it again tonight.
I absolutely reiterate the statements that Mark Fiorentino just stated. I can't as eloquently read them again. This ceremony, this oath right here, I don't take that lightly, because the last time something like that happened, I was taking my citizenship oath to be a U.S. citizen. So I know a little thing or two about when an opportunity is afforded to you, what it really means. So I truly take this opportunity very highly. It's an honor, and I look forward to serving the town. We have a healthy appreciation for this town, and I almost literally have skin in the game. My kids are in this school system. I hope to bring diversity of thought. I welcome all dialogues and all conversations, and I treat everybody with respect. Dr. Malfa, I will welcome to have a dialogue and a conversation with you. Anytime. Please feel free to reach out.
Sure enough.
All right, anything you want to add?
No, that's it. Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm looking forward to serving.
We're grateful for your willingness to serve, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Next item on our agenda is the public session. So just a quick reminder, we'll give everybody 5 minutes maximum. If you want to speak, I'll set the alarm so that we're not distracted watching the timer. If you have questions, get them all out. I'll write them all down. When we're done with all of public session, we'll try to answer the questions if I feel comfortable that we can give you complete, accurate answers. If not, look to get back to you. So will you run?
Okay.
Hi, it's Bill Regan.
We'll get to you. Go ahead, Bill.
Thank you. I want to make the comment that appointment of Ali Zafar was the best thing that the town could do for the Board of Education. They've been crying diversity, 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 and now they finally have some. And for Selectman Mata to be so adamantly against diversity and not even to stand to have his picture taken was absolutely a disgrace. Ollie's going to be the best thing that happened to the Board of Education. He has kids in school. He knows what's happening on a daily basis. And I noticed that the chair and the vice chair of the Board of Ed were on Zoom when the discussion happened. I think I congratulate Mark and the Republicans for standing their ground and not giving in to the vote Democrats. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bill.